free school. Oh, okay, we're recording. Lisa, both Lisas have, that's amazing. Colleen, yes, Dawn, you guys are rock stars. LJ, Kim, Natasha, you guys rock. I'm so excited. Thank you for that. Thank you for your dedication and motivation for being here every single time. Supriya, wonderful. I am glad that we are back one final time, and we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Let me admit a few more people into the meeting. Okay, awesome. And for those of you who maybe have not been on every single bootcamp, that's okay. We will be posting the replays here shortly, probably in inspirations, but the content that we're going to go over tonight, it may not, I mean, it'll make sense, but if you've been on here, been on there, some of the example conversations, they're building off of previous modules. So just wanted to put that out there that it may not flow exactly if you haven't been on every single one, but that's okay. You'll get the general idea. So tonight's agenda, we are going to discuss follow-up. That is mostly what this session is all about. So we're going to discuss not only why follow-up is important, but also when to do it and also how. And Lisa, yes, Lisa Kellogg, she says she is highly motivated. Lisa, I can tell because yes, you've been on every single one, which has been fantastic. Love interacting with you. You're always so encouraging. So thank you for being on again. So yes, follow up, we're going to look at examples. You guys know I'm big on giving verbiage examples, so we're going to cover that tonight as well. Next, we are going to talk about the importance of confidence and how you can fake it till you make it if you need to. We are going to talk about some strategies. Now that tonight is the very last boot camp, what are you going to do? Now that you've been through all of the steps, we've gone over the GROW model, how are you actually going to implement all of these strategies that we've talked about into your business? And if you've been having more chance encounters over the last week, whether that's been for sales or sponsoring, let me know in the chat. Would love to know how that's working for you. So we're going to kick things off with the importance of follow-up. So unfortunately, follow-up is the most overlooked part of the business. I feel like it's really overlooked. So think about all the work and everything we've discussed in this boot camp so far. And I want you guys to, I don't want you to stop now. You have to keep going because you're almost there. And you may be thinking, okay, Allison, if they really want to order, they'll just let me know. Or if they want to join my team, they will on their own. And that may be true, but sometimes people, they just need that little nudge or a reminder. There's lots of reasons to follow up. And here we just have a couple of points on the slide. First and foremost, people are busy, okay? They may be going out of town. It's summer. Some people are on vacation. Kids are home from school. Sometimes they just plain forget, okay? It's life for human. They may have, I always say, people may have every intention of Colleen joining your team or Kelly purchasing a product from you, but sometimes they just forget. So remind them, vacation, maybe they're in a relationship crisis. Who knows? A family member is sick. There's a big work project. So there are so many other reasons why people could be distracted. So we really need to put the ball in our court and just send a quick text and follow up. It does not take a lot of time. It's easy to do. And like I said, we're going to go over some examples a little bit later. But now we're going to look at when and how. So the general rule of follow-up is around 48 hours after the initial discussion. Some people wait a day depending on the level of interest. So kind of just trust your gut on that. But typically I would suggest no more than 48 hours. You want to do this during that time frame because it's still fresh in their mind. They know what they talked to you about. They're interested. You don't want too much time to pass because what's going to happen? It'll kind of fizzle out. So you want to strike while the iron is hot. And then next, little pro tip here, create a follow-up calendar to stay organized, because if you're doing face-to-face events or doing chance encounters and you're out and about a lot, you're going to be talking to a lot of people and it can get a little disorganized. So create a follow-up calendar, and we're actually going to look at an example calendar in just a few minutes, but you've got to stay organized because you do not want these people that you've talked to slip through the cracks. And then how should you go about following up? Well, it's pretty simple. Just ask, okay, Dawn, how would you prefer to be contacted? Do you like text, email, phone call, or would you rather me message you on Facebook? And they'll tell you. And I would assume most people would prefer text, but maybe some people would prefer a phone call. So just simply ask the question and then reach out according to whatever they tell you what they prefer. All right, now here, what to say. This is an example when it comes to sales. So again, if you've been on boot camp, you may remember Heather and Renee from a couple of modules ago. And here we just have an example conversation. And in follow-up, it's really important to remind the person who you are and where you met. Some people just, they may need their memory jogged. Another important tip is to never dive in with the ask right away. You kind of have to warm up the conversation. So again, let's look at an example. And for this example, we're going to just assume that they are communicating via text. So, hey, Renee, it's Heather from Target. We met the other day in the checkout line. Now, here's where you kind of want to tie something in that you talked about. So maybe they said something about their job or their kid was sick or whatever they talked to you about, make sure you weave that into the conversation. And of course, wait for a response. And after you have, a bit of banter, a bit of chit chat, then when it feels right, you can kind of go into the actual conversation and the question. Just checking to see if you had any questions about the Shea Butter hair care line. I'm going to order a few things for myself and would be happy to order if you'd like. Sound good? Again, very breezy, very casual. It just kind of sounds like a friend talking to a friend. You're reminding her who you are, where you met. You are also reminding them with the question that you're not going in right away with, that you listen to the conversation. And when you're talking to people, I always recommend that when you're taking notes, be very detailed in your notes. So where did you meet them? What do they look like? What did you talk to them about? And that way you can really get a feel for who they are and what they were discussing with you when you reach back out to follow up. Okay, now we're gonna switch from sales to sponsoring. And again, this is a piggyback conversation from a module we had a couple weeks ago. So again, we have our dog park people and we're picking back up with a follow-up conversation. Hey Pat, it's Taylor Smith. We met a few days ago at the dog park. How did Biscuit's vet appointment go? Again, wait for the response, wait for the chit chat, and then go for it. So glad he's doing better. Also, checking back in to see what your thoughts were on becoming a consultant. What questions do you have about joining? I think you'd be a huge asset to the team. So Colleen, yes, you can get very disorganized quickly. So 100%, you want to take notes, you want to do the calendar. And again, you can see from these conversations, they're not hard. You just have to know what to say and how to word it. Again, don't come in hot with, hey, this is Allison. We met yesterday. Wanted to see if you wanted to join my team. Okay, it's not going to fly. You're not going to get the response that you want. So warm up the conversation, tie in a few key points, and then go into the ask. Now, here we go. Keeping track and keeping organized. Tell me in the chat if you how do you keep track of your leads? How do you keep track of your people? Maybe you have a different method. Everybody is different. So again, whenever you're out and about, maybe you have a notebook or maybe you have a lead form that you ask them to fill out and you take it back. However you do things, great, but come back and keep this organized. Colleen, love this sheet. Is this on the Business Hub? This is not, Colleen, this is something that I just created. It's in Excel, but I'll see if we can create something for you guys, sort of like a follow-up tracker. So absolutely, I can see if we can upload this on the Business Hub, and you are welcome. Again, we have, excuse me, you guys, I'm losing my voice. I just got back from our Ruby group leader meeting we've been there a couple days, and I've been talking nonstop, so I apologize, but losing my voice a little bit. But as you can see, we're starting with the person's name, their phone number, their email, their preferred method of contact, and then the notes. This is the most important part. Again, you want to be as detailed as you can because, like I mentioned earlier, if you're having lots of chance encounters or doing events, you'll be meeting a lot of people. So again, include what they look like, where you met. You can see for the example on the very top, Allison Swanson met at the gym on 7/12. Blonde hair, she was tall, gave her a brand book. She loves makeup, was interested in foundation bronzer. She's involved with a Pride fundraiser. And then in the notes, I have follow up on 7/14. And then again, before you go to follow up on 7/14, put those notes of what happened in the notes section. So just keep following up and taking notes, all right? Any questions on the follow-up tracker? Pretty self-explanatory, but just in case, if you have questions, just throw them in the chat. Okay. And then I do want to mention, follow-up is not a one and done, okay? I know a lot of people think, oh, I'll follow up with them. Great. It may not be that simple. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Did you know, on average, I did a little bit of research, that it takes asking someone a question 7 times in this kind of situation before you get a response or before you maybe get an order, okay? So that's just how follow-up works. And if you're on tonight and you've been doing a follow-up, let me know in the chat. You know, is it usually a one-time thing and you get the answer yes or no, or have you found in your experience that you kind of have to follow up multiple times? And either way, great, but we really want to incorporate follow-up multiple times. You're not bothering them, you are following up on something they told you that they were interested in. And yes, Lisa said a few times to get a response. Absolutely. So with that said, some people think, oh, I'm bothering them, I don't want to pester them. And I know, I totally get that, but think about your mindset, really shift your outlook. You are not bothering them. You are reaching back out to help them with a business opportunity that they mentioned they were interested in, or a product they mentioned they wanted to learn more about or purchase, okay? You really want to be the resource connector. And Dawn, yes, depends on the person. Some jump right in, sometimes it takes more. Absolutely, and everybody is going to be a little bit different. So trust your gut, go with the situation, and adjust if necessary. Okay, now let's talk
Allison?
about. Yes.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. It seems like Sarah Wilson has a question.
Oh, okay. Can
Because
pop it in
her
the
hands,
chat.
yeah, her hand's raised. So I don't know if she has a question or if it just came up there by accident.
Okay.
I didn't want you to go too far, so she forgot about it.
Yeah, no problem. Sarah, do you have a question? Okay, maybe not. Maybe she just has her hand up and she doesn't know. I'm not sure. But Sarah, if you do have a question, you can just pop it in the chat and we will go from there. But thank you, Lisa. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now that we've talked about the fundamentals, we're going to touch on another side of the business, again, that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough, and that is confidence. And tell me in the chat, how many of you, okay, and be honest, we're all in this together, feel comfortable talking to others about your business, about joining your team, on recommending products. So on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me in the chat, how comfortable or confident are you in recommending products or talking to others about joining your team? And I know everybody's going to be a little bit different, and that's okay. Yeah, Tracy is an 8. That's fantastic. Lisa, she's getting the confidence. It's a 7. Colleen, I know you're very comfortable, but can always learn. Lisa, I love it. Okay, awesome, guys. Now on the slide, we have a few categories. And maybe you're not selling skincare because you don't know about all the different lines and what they do. So if skincare isn't your most acknowledged line, then brush up on those products, brush up on makeup, brush up on skincare, product knowledge in general. We have the fact sheet guides on the Business Hub. Those are great for helping you learn more about a product. And then when it comes to sponsoring and having people join your team, can you, and again, tell me in the chat, are you confident in explaining BEP or the compensation plan? Do you know about all the incentives going on right now? Would you know how to talk about the qualifications for Iceland or Nashville? Okay. What about onboarding? Do you have an onboarding plan? How do you plan on getting them off on the right foot? Okay, so whatever you're not confident about that's okay. You can change it. You can level up. You can learn more. All right. Dawn says a 5. Okay. And oh, I think it said, I thought somebody said they were brand new. Did it pop up? Don't see it anymore. Maybe it popped up. Janet, I also research a product to learn more about it. I want to be knowledgeable when I'm talking. Yes, Janet, absolutely. We want to feel confident when we're talking about a product. So we learn more about it. We use it for ourselves. And yes, we become a product of the products. Yvette, Kelly is brand new. Well, Kelly, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. We are thrilled to have you on tonight. Okay, I can get to my next slide. There we go. So again, if you're not feeling so confident about recommending products, and it seemed like most of you guys are, which is fantastic, make sure to order a few for yourself. And also, we have plenty of resources to help you when it comes to product education. We talked earlier about fact sheet guides, the brand book. That's also a fantastic resource. Flip through that. It's a beautiful book. So again, you're learning more about the products, what they do, how to speak to them. And of course, if you're attending trainings like you guys are right now, you're going to be more knowledgeable when it comes to things like sponsoring and how to offer the opportunity or talk about a product. Go back and watch previous trainings. We have so much training, you guys. Sarah, I know she has a ton of product training on the Inspirations group. And, if you ever want to find a specific training and you can't find it on Inspirations, because I know we have so much in there. And sometimes, I'll be honest, it's not the easiest to find. So if you're ever wanting something specifically that we've done in the past, just email me or ping me and let me know, and I will try to get you that training. Lisa says, I love that you can re-watch the trainings. Yeah, I mean, exactly. This is your business. And as much as we'd love to have you on with us live, sometimes it doesn't work that way. So yes, we try to record everything so you can go back and watch it. Again, practice makes perfect. So practice having these conversations. We've looked at objectives and how to overcome those. We've looked at a lot of verbiage examples on how to ask about a product or about the opportunity, and practice those conversations, practice those, overcoming objections, and go over it with your upline or practice in the mirror, whatever it takes to, again, feel confident and feel prepared. And Colleen, I have to go to the chat for a second. Welcome Wednesdays are awesome for fundamentals. There are recordings on the US Inspiration group. Yes, Welcome Wednesdays are the first Wednesday of every month. And if you are new or if you have a team member who is new, definitely recommend that they come to that training because like Colleen said, it is awesome for those basic fundamentals. And Kelly, I know that you're new. I don't know how new you are, but definitely hope that you catch one of our Welcome Wednesdays. Would love to see you on there. And then lastly, live it. This is a lifestyle. We were in Raleigh, North Carolina over the past couple of days, and Christy Baruso, she was on last week. She spoke to us on sponsoring, and I'm telling you, she is a prime example of living this lifestyle. We were in the hotel lobby and she starts talking to one of the bartenders about skincare and joining the body shop at home, joining her team. And she doesn't go out of her way to look for new team members or new customers. She just lives it and weaves it into every conversation in the most natural of ways. So that was so fun to see her do that. It was really cool. Okay, continuing on. Another few pointers when it comes to feeling and appearing confident. Fake it till you make it if you need to, but here are a couple basic ways on how you can appear confident. And I know some of these may seem pretty basic and self-explanatory, but just a little reminders. First of all, if you're live, or even, of course, if you're in person, you want to stand tall, have your shoulders back, be loud and proud about who you are and what you do. This next one, I don't know if when you're talking to people, like if someone's not looking me in the eye, I think it's like, are you hiding something? What's going on? So make eye contact. And next, if you look good, you feel good. So if there's a lucky outfit or something that makes you feel better about yourself, go for it. I know we're all about self-love, so love yourself, look good, feel good. All of that ties together beautifully. Smile. When you're talking to people, when you're going live, when you're out and about, smile, because smiles works wonders. Yes, Colleen, hashtag self-love uprising, absolutely. And this next one, and I have to tell myself this all the time because I'm a fast talker anyway, but when we maybe are a little bit nervous, or if we're talking to somebody about something that we're not that confident in, what do? We tend to talk a little faster. So slow your speech, take a deep breath, let it out. And lastly, know your material. If you know what you're talking about, if you do your research, if you practice, if you know it, that will, of course, help you to appear confident. And if you guys have any other tips for feeling confident or looking confident, definitely put them in the chat. Always love to hear from you and learn from each other. And now let's talk a little bit about mindset. And the power of your thoughts is absolutely everything. And I want you guys, because this is our last module, right? I want you to leave here feeling excited about moving forward and applying all that you've learned over the past couple of weeks into your business. But let's be honest, sometimes there are a few limiting beliefs that are holding you back. We have a couple here right on the slide. And tell me if you have ever had these thoughts, okay? Oh, man, I'll never make it to Nashville. It's too hard. I can't talk to people I don't know. I'm way too shy. Like there's nobody I could go up to somebody in a Target or talk to somebody in the grocery store line. There's just no way. I would not be a good team leader. Or maybe you've had the thought, gaining new customers, it's just too hard. It's super difficult. Anybody have these thoughts? Put them in the chat if you have, or if you're comfortable sharing, that's fine. But yes, we have to clear out these limiting beliefs, because if we're focusing on these thoughts, it is going to be harder for us to be successful in our business. And I did a presentation on this a couple of days ago at the meeting we had, and it was so true. We talked all about this and how mindset really does make a difference. And Lisa says, yes, I have had some of these thoughts. Lisa, thank you for being open and honest, because yes, at some point we all have. Colleen, you are 100% correct. Mindset is everything. Lisa Kellogg, if you're wearing the product, it's easy to show them off and talk about them. I always have some of them with me as well, along with clips that they can put it on. Perfect, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Now, a little quote from Peace Pilgrim. If you knew the power of your thoughts, you would never think another negative thought again. So just keep that in mind. I know sometimes we have these limiting beliefs or these negative thoughts that come to us, and that's okay, right? They're going to happen. It's part of life. We're human. Don't put yourself down for having a negative thought, but I will challenge you to, when these thoughts come, to catch them, step back, and reframe them. We talked about that this week as well. So reframe those thoughts and rewire your brain. How can you take that? Let's go back, okay? How can you take, the thought, the limiting belief, gaining new customers is super difficult. How can you reframe that. And if you have something, an idea of how you can maybe take that negative thought and turn it into a positive, how can you rework that? Definitely let us know in the chat. Okay, now we're gonna do a little planning session. Bye, Kelly. We hope to see you soon. Thanks for being on. But yeah, we're gonna do a couple of minutes with strategy planning. Again, I want you guys to have a roadmap. I want you to have a plan in place. And again, we have covered a lot of material the past 3 weeks. This is our fifth boot camp. And then how will you take what you've learned? So those of you who have been on every single time, Lisa, Colleen, Lisa Kellogg, how will you take what you've learned in this boot camp and use it to achieve the incentive trips? So write that question down. And when we get off of this call tonight, put a little action plan into place. Colleen, consistency and follow up to start. Lisa, I'm in a vendor event that is not so hot. So what I did, I asked the vendors to join my VIP group and I had 2 join. Lisa, that is a brilliant idea. I'm super happy for you. Let's give her some love in the chat. That is fantastic. What a great idea. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. So I would love to hear from you. If anybody does have any thoughts off the top of their head right now, you can, if you want to come off mute and share maybe some things that you've learned that you can incorporate into your business that will help you achieve, that would be fantastic. Or you can throw it in the chat. It's whatever you feel the most comfortable with. And I believe that is all we have. I'm going to end us with a quote tonight. And that is, don't worry about the failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't try. So I know we've covered a lot of different material, different strategies. And yes, Dawn says chance encounters. That might be really uncomfortable for you, but we don't grow in our comfort zone. We have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So yes, I'm seeing a lot of chance encounters. That was one of your main takeaways and how you will get to Nashville and get to Iceland. Absolutely. So have those chance encounters. Go through the GROW method. Listen, ask questions, follow up. Those are all really major points that we want to take and put into the business. And yes, mindset, confidence, Lisa, have to always be positive and never worry about the what ifs. You are 100% accurate, Lisa. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm going to turn you guys back to your evening. If you do have any questions or need anything, please get a hold of me. Always happy to help in any way that I can with support. And Lisa is getting events lined up. That is amazing. Deanna, product knowledge equals confidence when talking to others. You guys are fantastic. You are really on your game. So I've had so much fun in these boot camps. I hope you guys have too. And again, sorry about my voice this evening. I apologize. I know it's probably a little rough to listen to, but thank you guys for all of your support. Have loved being on these boot camps with you. Learned a lot and have got to know you all better. So that's been super fantastic as well. But I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. And again, thank you for all you do. Really appreciate you guys. Okay. Bye, Tracy. Bye, Jesse. Bye, Dawn. Bye, Sarah. Bye, Deanna. Bye, Tanya. You guys are awesome. See you later. Bye, guys.